Let's talk about what to do when you are getting zero sales with Facebook ads. This is a pretty common problem out there. If you're facing this issue, you are not alone. In fact, more than 70% of brands out there, they are not getting the desired results. And there are multiple reasons behind that, which I'm gonna talk about in this video. So, when we are approaching any ads, when you are putting out there some kind of ad creatives on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, the platform here doesn't matter. You have to ask yourself this question: do I actually spend enough on my ad level? One of the most common mistakes is that when I'm making ad account audits for these particular brands, I usually see that actually they are looking at how much my ad set has spent instead of how my ad creative has spent. We have basically these three layers, three levels of any kind of ads: campaign, ad set, and ad. At the ad set level, here we are setting our audience that we are trying to target, our budget, the schedule, the optimization. At the ad level, here we have our visuals, our ad copy, our ad creatives. And most business owners and most advertisers, they optimize their ads based on how much my ad set has spent. If they look at, oh, this ad set has spent my average cost, it has not got any sales, I'm gonna turn it off. And this is the worst approach, because sometimes you could have on your ad level some ad creatives that actually have a very high return on spend at very low cost. So what I highly recommend is optimizing on the ad level. And the bare minimum that you have to spend on the ad level is your usual cost per purchase, your usual cost per acquisition. So you have to know how much you are spending on average to acquire a customer. Let's say it's $50. At the ad level, every single ad has to spend at least $50 before you turn it off or before you take it and you paste it in the scaling campaign. However, there is one exception. If you really see that an ad creative is performing very, very badly, and you know, like on average your click-through rate is, let's say, 1%, but for that particular ad is like 0.2 or 0.3 and your cost per click is very high, in that case, you might turn it off before it spent your usual cost per purchase. But you know, the discrepancy between your average click-through rate and the click-through rate that you are getting for that ad you are trying to optimize should be significant, pretty consistent. If you are seeing that you know your click-through rate is 0.8 and your average click-through rate is 1%, I would still leave that ad run until it's spent enough. The second thing that we have to look at when we're not seeing any sales that are coming from Facebook and Instagram ads is looking and finding out exactly the core problem. Not the problem that like we are seeing at the surface, like the visual part of the iceberg. We have to dig very deep to find out exactly the causes, the reasons why we are not getting those sales. Trying to figure out where the main problem is boils down to looking at every single metric. What I do is I break down the entire ad account and I look at each metric to figure out where is that core problem. I look at my purchases, I look at my initial checkouts, add to cart, content views. I'm talking about like in terms of numbers. I look at also at my landing page views, cost per click, click-through rate, conversion rate, ranking. And I know I'm talking about very many metrics, so I'll make sure I will put here a video where I talk about every single metric and how I customize my columns to figure out how my ads are performing and to figure out where is my core problem. And usually there are two scenarios. One is when you are getting tons of clicks, and I assume that you are optimizing for purchase, and this is your go-to optimization if you're trying to get conversions. And let's say that you are still getting like tons of clicks with that optimization, but you are not getting sales. In that case, the problem is not in your ads, but in your website. And now, when I'm saying website, here you have to dig even deeper and finding out exactly where is the gap. If you have a huge discrepancy between add to cart and initial checkouts, then the problem is at the cart page. If you have many initial checkouts but very few purchases, the problem is at your checkout page. You got the idea. So look at exactly where people stop converting and solve that exact problem. Like think about it, oh, I'm not getting sales, what should I do now? Do not overthink it and like look at, oh, what should I do? Like why my ads are not performing? Look at exactly where is the problem and focus only on that. The second scenario is you have very high cost per 1,000 impressions, very high cost per clicks, very low click-through rates. In that case, the problem is in the ads. So now you have to focus on testing more ad creatives, creating better ad copies that will articulate the message of your brand. And notice my language, I do not say testing audiences, I say testing creatives. Because currently Facebook has a very good targeting. They are going to target your right audience based on your creatives. So if your creatives are good, they're gonna target the right audience, and if your creatives at the same time articulate the message and compel your audience, is going to perform very well. So essentially, when you are getting 0 sales in your ad account, there are 2 things that you have to focus on, and there are only 2 solutions to that. One is testing more ad creatives based on your previous data, meaning is that you look at your previous ads that you run, you look how they performed, you look what performed well, you look what performed worse, and you ignore and you kind of put away the things that have not worked, and you focus more on the things that worked. And the second solution is optimizing consistently your landing page or your product page, again based on your previous data. How can you look at your previous data? You have multiple apps, for example Lucky Orange if you're on Shopify, or Hotjar, where you can track the behaviors of your visitors and see where they're subperforming, what kind of difficulties they have. And like, you just need to be creative. You have to find out where the person is stopping in your funnel and solve that right away. Some of my viewers will say something like, well, Archie, I've tried everything that you said. I've run new ad creatives for the past 6 months. I've launched new ad creatives every single week. I've optimized my conversion rate, like my website is optimized for conversions. I know that everything is just nailed perfectly, but I'm still not getting sales in my Facebook ad account. What is the problem in that case? So the issue is that no one wants your product, and I want to be transparent with you because I want actually to be this kind of a wake-up call, because if you don't understand that the customers don't want your product, you're gonna keep spending money, in fact wasting your money in ads, your time as well, optimizing these things. At the end of the day, your customer is the best marketer, not me, not you. Your customers are the best marketers in the world. If they like the product, they're gonna purchase and they're gonna promote your product further to their family, to their friends, maybe on their social media. If they don't like it, they're not gonna purchase and they're not gonna promote your product, your business at all. Just like any bit, they are not gonna take your product and promote it like with any kind of reasons. One thing that you have to understand as a business owner is that when you are trying to sell your products, it simply is an exchange of your product and the customer's money. And when the customer doesn't value your product and they value more their money, they're not gonna make this exchange. On the other hand, if they value more your product instead of their money, they're gonna be happily and gladly make this exchange. So from now on, everything that you do around your business, you have to ask yourself these 3 questions. Are my customers interested in my products? Do my ad creatives showcase my product in a compelling way? Is my website helping the customer to see the value of a product? When you can truly answer these 3 questions and you have to be honest with you, then in that case, definitely you're gonna start getting sales from ads. So that's it. Thank you very much for watching this video. I really appreciate your support and we will see each other soon. Bye bye.